Okay, let us start from beginning. Let us see what is again cloud. So let me just revise a bit. What is cloud here? Cloud is like, it is a way of taking online resources. It is a way of taking the IT resources through online. Like what are the IT resources? IT resources are your servers, the database, the storage, the routers, and all those things we can take through the internet, and we can take these resources from some other company. That is your cloud computing. Okay. Then what we said in cloud computing, the main resource that we are trying to take from some other company or from some other data center is actually the server. Okay, so what we said, server is a machine that provides services to the user. A server is a device that provides services to the user. So whenever you're asking something, that server is providing to you. Like for example, if you say youtube.com, a YouTube server is coming in front of you. When you say gmail.com, an email server is coming in front of you. So that is your server. That is what this server will provide. Server is a machine that provides services to the user. Okay, fine. Now the third thing that we were discussing was server is a hardware machine as well as a software machine. Server is hardware as well as it is software. So when I say hardware server, what is the meaning of hardware server? Hardware means it is like your laptop or a desktop. It is like your laptop or a desktop. What is there in laptop or a desktop? In laptop or a desktop, we have certain components like motherboard, processor, RAM, hard disk, and IC card. So the same components will be there in a server. That is your hardware part. But the major difference between a laptop and a server is laptop components are limited. There is a limited RAM we can take in a laptop. Maximum we can take 64 GB RAM. Maximum 64 GB RAM we can take. Okay, you must be thinking here like maybe you are using 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM. In 8 GB RAM, you're more than happy, right? 8 GB RAM is more than sufficient for you. Okay, for general purpose computers and general purpose laptops, 8 GB RAM is more than enough. Okay, but if you're taking a laptop for special purpose, like suppose for multimedia purpose, then 8 GB RAM is not sufficient. You should go with like 24 GB RAM or 32 GB RAM. So what I'm trying to tell you here is the laptop has a hardware configuration. There will be some minimum configuration we have to take, like at least 4 GB RAM we have to take in every laptop, and maximum we can go up to like 64 GB RAM. Okay, but coming to the server hardware capability or server hardware capacity is more compared to the laptop or a desktop. 64 GB is the limit in a laptop and a desktop, but coming to server, it can be 600 GB of RAM. It can be 1000 GB of RAM. Now the question here is it needed that much? Of course, it is needed in many cases. When it is needed, and if you're having 600 GB RAM, what we can do on server, all these things we will discuss at some other time. But as of now, the major difference between a server hardware and a computer hardware is server hardware has more capacity and server hardware has more speed. Done. Now, like I said, whether it is a laptop, desktop, or any other device, every device will work on an operating system. So for server also, there is an operating system here. And that server machine operating system is called server operating system. There are majorly two companies that will offer you server operating system. One is Windows Server Operating System. Second one is Unix or Linux Server Operating System. These are the two major companies that are offering the server operating systems. Okay. Now coming to server hardware, companies like HP, IBM, Dell, Lenovo, Acer, Toshiba, Cisco, etc. These are the companies that are providing you the server hardware. Microsoft Windows and Linux are the server operating system providers, and HP, IBM, Dell, Lenovo, all these are server hardware providers. If someone is using a laptop here, he might be using a laptop from HP, IBM, Dell, Lenovo, Acer, or Toshiba, right? Majority of cases, you will be using these laptops. There are many other companies. Sony is also there. Okay. Mac laptops are also there. So they also provide the servers actually. Okay. So the combination of hardware from any one of this company and the combination of software from one of these two company will build a server for us. So hardware is from one XYZ company and operating system is either from Windows Server or Linux server. Done. So once you take these two things, the hardware and the software, a server is ready for us. But now listen, friends, you have taken the hardware, you have taken the operating system, so the server is ready, but will it work? Will it provide services to the user? Answer is no. It will not provide services to the user. I repeat, a server will not work on its own. Or rather, I can say any device, whether it is server or a firewall or a router or even your mobile phone, these devices will not work on its own. We have to configure the device. Always remember this very simple point. A device like a server, it will not work automatically. No server on the face of the earth is working automatically. Okay, someone can say like there is a server in some XYZ company. It is working 24/7 without any configuration or without any help from the administrator. Now listen, my friend. That server may be working today automatically, but the server was already configured before. I repeat, that server may be working today, but that server is already, or the server is already configured before. So if you see a server that is working, it does not mean the server is working automatically by itself. There was some XYZ person who has already configured that server. So literally every server on the face of the earth, in any company, anywhere, the servers are running because some people have already configured the server. And who are those people? They are server administrators. It can be Windows Server administrators or it can be Linux server administrators. So let us see this drill, how it happens. So what a person will do or what a company will do, they will bring a server. Actually, they will hire a server administrator first of all. So server administrator will decide like what sort of hardware is needed in this company or what sort of hardware is needed in this particular server. So according to the requirement, they will take the hardware. According to the requirement, they will take some hardware. Okay. Now, after taking the hardware, what these people will do, they will install the operating system. And like I said, it can be Windows operating system or it can be your Linux operating system. Done. After installing the operating system, they will install some applications here. They will configure some applications. This is the whole story of a server. So first of all, we have to bring a server hardware from XYZ company. We can order it through online or we can just go to any showroom or shop somewhere and we can collect that particular server hardware according to our configuration. Maybe there is a server in the company which has 32 GB RAM. Another server can be there with 16 GB RAM. Another server can be there with 128 GB RAM. It depends on the scenario. Okay. Okay, so we can simply bring a hardware according to our requirement. Now coming to operating system, again, there are many operating systems available. Okay, Windows and Linux, these are the two major, but within Windows, there are many versions available. Within Linux, again, there are many flavors and versions available. So which version to select, which flavor to select, all these things we will see in our coming classes. As of now, we just need to install a operating system. This is more than enough for us to remember. After installing operating system, which application you are implementing there, which application you are installing there? Is it a banking application? Is it a gaming application? Is it a email application? Is it a web application? It depends on your company. So application is a different thing, but what we need to understand or what we need to concentrate more here is the hardware part and the operating system part. And you know, it is not easy for any company to bring many hardware servers, and it is not easy for a company to take many licenses. Remember, I told you server hardware is very costly as well as server operating system is costly. So company is spending a lot of money. Then on this particular machine, they can install a particular application and they can run all the services on that particular server. They can run all the applications on that particular server. So this is the story of a server. If you know the use and the way the server is working and the way the server is designed, you know, the coming classes will be more easier for you. Cloud computing is majorly around the server concept. The computer network is majorly around the server. The whole internet is majorly on the server. Once you go to browser and say any website, whether you're watching a movie, whether you're watching any news channel, whether you're accessing any social media sites, or whether you're doing some shopping or whatever you do on the internet, you're literally connected to the server. So as of now, what you see on your screen, hardware is a server, operating system is a server, and on this, the applications are running. So these are the three layers we need to understand very well. Okay, so imagine you're the administrator of a company. What you should do? You should go and bring a hardware first. According to your requirement, you should bring a hardware. You should pay so and so money. Then you should select your operating system, Windows or Linux, or within Windows and Linux, there are different versions and flavors we have that we need to select. And the third one is the application. I hope this is very clear for you, friends. This is the way it works. Okay, now just for your understanding, I have taken two motherboards actually. One motherboard is your computer motherboard, another motherboard is your server motherboard. See carefully on the left side of your screen, the motherboard that you see is a desktop motherboard. And on the right side of your screen, that is your server motherboard. What is the major difference you can see between desktop motherboard and server motherboard? Desktop motherboard has only one CPU. It can be i3, it can be i7, it can be i5, whatever, but there is only one CPU, one processor. But coming to the server, you can see there are totally 4 processors available. Okay, minimum 1 will be there, but it can be 2, it can be 3, or it can be totally 4, or it can be more than 4 processors. Got it? Now, this is the way the server is designed. This is actually your server. This is not a desktop machine. It is looking like your desktop machine, right? But it is much bigger than desktop, and it is your server. So these are the servers we use in company. This server is from IBM company actually. So it can be from HP or Dell or Lenovo. Physically, it will look like this. Okay, I got a question here from Kaushik. If I register for this course, can you explain once again? I have not got your question, Kaushik. Can you please elaborate a bit more? I'm a bit confused actually. Yeah, Kaushik, go ahead, please.
Sir, if I register for this course, can you explain once again?
This is the first session, Kaushik. We have just started actually. So you have not missed anything in a way. Okay, so this is the first session. Okay, fine. So this is your server. And these are the layers which I was talking about. You can see the bottom one is the server hardware. And on top of this server hardware, we have the server operating system. It can be Windows or Linux. And on top of this server operating system, the applications are running. And on top of this application, the user is connected. These are the 4 layers we have. Got it? Now, the big question here is how we can take a server, or from where we can take a server. That is a big question. Now, what you see here is actually a physical server. This is your physical server. So one way to take a server is you just need to take a physical server and just need to configure that physical server. Done. We are using physical servers for last some decades, actually 30, 40, 50 years. We are using these physical servers. But you know, in this physical server, friends, we have some disadvantages. In this physical servers, we have many disadvantages. One of the major disadvantages we have in a physical server is the cost of the server, the amount that we have to spend on this server. And the amount that we need to spend on this server is actually huge. Huge in the sense it will be some thousands of dollars. That is the amount we have to spend on this particular server. But you know, like 20 years before, there was no other option. Companies have to spend that much money on the server, and they have to use a server in their network. They have to use the server for their business. But you know, in last 20 years, we have some other options also. We got some other options. We got some other ways of using a server. So beside using a physical server, now we can go with a server called virtual server. What we can do? We can go with a virtual server. So what we can do, or how we can make a virtual server? So virtual server is a very, very easy and very simple technology we have actually. And you know what we do in this virtual server? In this virtual server, we will just take a physical server first of all. We'll take a hardware. Now on top of this hardware, instead of installing the operating system, we are simply installing a software. It is called hypervisor. What is the software? This software is known as hypervisor software. So what is the use of this hypervisor software? So this is a very big interview question actually. They will ask you something about hypervisor. They will ask you about operating systems. They will ask you about applications and some hardware and all those things. Okay. So we will see about hypervisor in more details in coming class. But as of now, hypervisor is a separate software. Hypervisor is a special software that is designed to divide your computer into many computers. I repeat, in this physical computer, how many operating systems we have installed here, friends? We have installed only one operating system. How many operating systems we have installed? We have installed only one operating system here. So if you install one operating system, how many applications you can run here? Only one application we can run. That's it. There is a rule we follow in a computer network, that is one server, one service. Application or service, they both are same in a way. So one server, one service is the rule that we follow. So once we take a physical server and once we install an application or once we install a service, that server is done. We should not install any other service or any other application in one physical machine. If you are installing two applications in one physical machine, that means you are putting a lot of burden on that physical machine. The machine can go down easily. Okay, so one server, one service is the formula we follow. But coming to this second option, that is called virtualization. What we do in this virtualization, friends? Virtualization is an option. Virtualization is a technology where we can take one physical server and within this one physical server, we can make multiple virtual servers. What we can do? We can make multiple virtual server. Now, all these are your virtual servers. Now, what is the difference between a physical server and a virtual server? First of all, the capabilities, the working, the processing, okay, the applications that we can install, the operating system that we can install are completely same on physical server and virtual server. There is no difference in that way. Physical server, we are installing Windows and Linux operating system. Virtual server, we are installing Windows or Linux operating system. Physical server, we are running banking applications, gaming applications, web servers and all those things. On virtual server also, we can run web servers and gaming applications and all those things. So running wise, use wise, they are completely same. The major difference here is physical server is a dedicated physical machine that has its own components like motherboard, processor, RAM, hard disk, and all those things. But virtual server, virtual server is not having its own hardware. Virtual server will take the hardware from the physical server. Like for example, it's a very technical thing what we are discussing as of now. Please listen carefully. Suppose imagine this server has 4 GB RAM. And suppose let us say this server has 8 GB RAM. This server has 12 GB RAM. This server has 6 GB RAM. So these are your virtual servers, right? So when I say virtual servers, 4 GB RAM, 6 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, 12 GB RAM, from where these virtual servers are taking this RAM, 8 GB, 4 GB, 6 GB, you know what happens here? The virtual servers will be taking all the resources from the physical server. For example, this virtual machine has 8 GB RAM. So first of all, this virtual machine will go to the software called hypervisor and it will say, listen, I need totally 8 GB RAM. You know what this hypervisor will do? Now this hypervisor will go to this hardware and it will take how much GB RAM? 8 GB RAM. So it will provide this 8 GB RAM to this particular machine. Now this machine has 4 GB RAM. So what happens here? First of all, this virtual machine will go to this hypervisor. It will take the 4 GB RAM. It will ask for the 4 GB RAM. So this hypervisor will go to the hardware and it will take 4 GB RAM and it will provide the 4 GB RAM to this particular virtual machine. This is the way it works. Okay. Coming back to the very basic thing. Virtual machine is part of your physical machine. In one physical machine, we can make multiple virtual machines. And in each virtual machine, we can run a different service. We can run a different application. For example, in this virtual machine, there is a web server running. Here there is a file server. Here there is a mail server. Okay, here there is a database server. So like there are different services running in each virtual machine. There are different services running in each virtual machine. And where are those virtual machines running? All these virtual machines are running on a single hardware. This concept is called virtualization. So first of all, you should know what is a physical server. You should know what is a virtual server. So I hope it is very clear for you. Physical server is a dedicated physical machine where there is one operating system and one application is running. But coming to virtual servers are running on a hardware. But on a single hardware, we can run multiple virtual servers. So if you're running multiple virtual servers on a single hardware, what is the advantage here? Multiple virtual servers means multiple applications and multiple services we can run on a single physical server. So the main advantage here is we can save, or the company can save a lot of money. This is what the virtual servers or the virtual machines are all about. I hope it is clear. Now, cloud computing is based on virtualization. Cloud computing is a concept that is completely based on virtualization. And how it is based or how it is working there? Now, these virtual servers are located in our company. You know, if you know the virtualization, VMware or Citrix or Hyper-V, there are different courses. If a person knows the virtualization concept, you know what he will do in a company? He will take one server, and in that server, he will install a separate and a special software called hypervisor. It is a software designed for virtualization only. So he will install the virtualization software there. And by using this virtualization software, that is hypervisor, he will create virtual machines and he will manage and he will install applications on these virtual machines. So if you are working in a company as a virtual administrator, if you're working on VMware or virtualization, your responsibility is to manage your hardware. Your responsibility is to manage your hypervisor. And then your responsibility is creating virtual machines and running virtual machines. All these are your responsibilities. Now, are they still using virtualization? Of course, they are companies, they are still using virtualization. Are they companies, they are still using physical server? There are very few companies still they are using physical server, but still they are available. So both the options are available. Now, what is cloud now? So before we go to cloud again, let me just go to the slides here. So I hope you understood now. Server hardware, server operating system, applications or services, then the user. Okay. Now what is virtualization here? See the definition, what is there here in virtualization? I will read the first definition. It says virtualization is create a software-based or virtual representation of application servers, storage and network to reduce IT expenses while boosting efficiency and agility. Okay. Reduce IT expenses. This is the main point where we need to concentrate. Reduce the IT means how many servers we have taken here, friends? See carefully. This is your web server. This is your database server. This is your file server. This is your mail server. So in a general scenario, in a physical scenario, we have to take 4 physical servers actually. But have we taken 4 physical servers? No. We have taken only 1 physical server, and in this 1 physical server, we have installed 4 applications. We have installed 4 services. We have installed totally 4 services, and all the 4 services are working independently, and the 4 services are working without any issues and without any delay. That is virtualization. Got it? That is what virtualization is all about. Now I'll read the last definition here. That is from IBM. It says virtualization is a process that allows for more efficient utilization of physical computer hardware. How it is more utilization of physical computer hardware? You can take one hardware and you can run multiple operating systems there. So that is better. Okay. And is the foundation of cloud computing. Now it says clearly, it is the foundation of cloud computing. See, the left side on your screen is a traditional architect where there is a hardware, there is an operating system, and there are some applications. This is your old traditional way. Hardware is from any XYZ company. We know all the companies now. Operating system can be Windows or Linux. Application can be like any application. Okay. But on the right side of your screen, there is a virtual scenario. What is the virtual scenario? There is a hardware. On top of this hardware, there is a virtualization option available. That is called hypervisor. And on top of this virtualization scenario, we have like operating systems and all those things. Practically, I will show you how the virtualization is working. No need to worry. Practically, I will show you both the scenarios. Okay, but as of now, these are the 2 ways in which we can run a application. To run a application, you need a operating system, and to run the operating system, we need a server. So this server can be a physical server or a virtual server. Now, these are some of the companies, friends, who are providing virtualization. VMware is a market leader. So as your Microsoft, Citrix is also a very big company. Oracle is there, Red Hat is there. These are some of the major companies that will provide you the virtualization scenario. But remember the last definition I have read. The definition was virtualization is the reason for cloud computing. It was written something like this. Virtualization is the reason for cloud computing. Let us see what is cloud computing now. See here what we said. Blue one, the right side of your screen, hardware, virtualization, operating system. Remember I told you what we have to do here. We have to take the hardware, we have to install the hypervisor, we have to create a virtual machine, and we have to run the application. So these are the 4 stages. These are the 4 steps we have to do. Fine. You know what happens in cloud computing is hardware is taken care by some other company. Hypervisor will be taken care by some other company. We just need to create a virtual server and we just need to run our applications. That's it. So these 2 things, hardware and the hypervisor, maintaining of hardware, okay, troubleshooting of hardware, okay, and upgrading of hardware, everything is not under our control now. In cloud computing, this will be taken care by a third party, some other company. Let us see. See here, first one was server hardware, the old traditional way. Take a server, install the operating system, run your application. This is a very old way. The second one is virtualization. In this virtualization, what we do, instead of taking 100, 200 servers, we can take 3-4 servers. And in each server, we can create many virtual machines and we can run many virtual machines there. Okay, let me just show you once about the virtual scenario. I have a virtualization tool here that is called VMware Workstation. VMware Workstation or Oracle VirtualBox, all these are the tools. So I'll just go to this VMware Workstation here. And in this VMware Workstation, you can see already there are some servers running here. There are 3 servers running. Okay, we'll create a basic server so that you can see how things are working. See what it says, create a new virtual machine. Next. There are some options. We are not discussing those options, but now see here, I can select any Windows operating system here, 2012, 16, or Windows 8 or Windows 10, or I can go with Linux. Linux, I can go with Ubuntu, Red Hat, all these things. So I'll go with like Red Hat Linux 7. Then I can say next. I can give the name as test Linux here, something. I can say next. Some hard disk it is selecting, next. Some RAM it has selected, I can just say finish. See here, test Linux. A new virtual machine is created here. And how much GB RAM is there? 2 GB RAM is there, one processor is there, and totally 20 GB hard disk is there. So within like 30 seconds, I have created my virtual server. And where I have created virtual server, I have created virtual server in my physical server only, right? I have created my virtual server within my physical server. So this is all about virtual machines. So we have like 4 virtual servers now. I can just power on this machine and the machine will start running here. But what we need to understand here is who is maintaining this physical machine? I am the administrator. I am maintaining the physical machine. Who is maintaining the hypervisor? I am maintaining the hypervisor. But what happens in cloud here now? In cloud, now what is cloud computing? So see, there is a definition from Amazon here, and what it says, cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources. See, whenever I say IT resources, I'm talking about servers, storage, routers, firewalls, all these things. So cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Okay, that we will see later. But what it says again, instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, I repeat again, instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power, that is servers, storage, that is your storage data center, on as needed basis from a cloud provider. Now this should be very clear for you now. So what it says here, it says, why you are taking this many servers? No need to take all these physical servers. And then it says, why you are creating virtual servers also? See, virtual server means why you are creating this virtual server on your physical server. Where is this physical server? It is located at your location. This physical server is located at your location. So cloud computing says why you are connecting or why you are maintaining all these servers at your location. No need to maintain and no need to configure all these services at your location. No need to maintain all these servers at your locations. What you can do here is simply you can connect to our data centers. That is what Amazon people are saying here. Amazon people are saying you connect to our data center. We have huge servers there. So whatever servers we have, you can use our servers and you can create virtual machine. See, at the end of the day, in cloud computing also, we are creating virtual machines. On top of that virtual machine, we are running our applications. But the difference here is instead of creating virtual machines on our hardware, we are creating virtual machine on some other company hardware. Instead of we managing the hardware, the other company is managing the hardware. Instead of we maintaining the hardware, the other company is maintaining the hardware. So we just need to create a virtual machine and we just need to run our application there. This is what cloud computing is all about. Okay, so instead of buying, owning, and maintaining physical data centers and servers, you can access technology services such as computing power, storage, and database on as needed basis from a cloud provider like Amazon Web Services. I hope this is very clear for you now, friends. Let us see what Microsoft says. Microsoft is again a very famous cloud provider. They also have their data centers and they are also saying cloud computing is the delivery of computing services, including server, storage, database, network, software, analytic, blah, 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 many things over the internet, that is from cloud, okay, as pay as you go model. This is what Microsoft says. So Microsoft people are also saying, listen, we have huge data center. So there is no need for you to maintain data centers in your home. You can just maintain that. We are maintaining data centers. You can run your services at your location. You can run your services at our location and pay according to your usage. That is what Microsoft says. Let us go to one more company, very famous company, IBM again. What it says? It lets you plug into infrastructure via the internet and use computing resources without installing, maintaining them on premise. Now, I hope things are becoming more easier for you to understand, friends. Okay. So instead of buying, maintaining everything at our location, IBM is saying we have our data centers, so come to us, use our data centers and run your applications. And how much you are using, that much you pay. And the payment is like very minimum. That is what cloud will say. Now, there is one more famous company like Citrix. What it says, it also says the same thing. In simple terms, cloud computing is a range of services delivered over the internet or the cloud. It means using remote servers to store and access data instead of relying on a local hard drive and private data centers. So every company is, defining cloud computing in their own terminologies. What they are defining is completely same. What they are telling is completely same, but the sentencing is a bit different. But once you read the sentence, you can imagine, okay, this is what cloud computing is all about. Citrix is again a big company that will provide you the cloud computing. So every company is saying why you are maintaining everything in your data center, why you are taking that much risk. No need to take that risk. Just rely on us. Come to us. We are providing you the data centers. We are providing you the huge data centers, and you can run your applications on our data centers. Salesforce is another very big company. They also say the same thing. Now see here. Cloud computing, servers are there on cloud, storage is there on cloud, application, network, database, literally everything is running on cloud. If there is a company which is not running on cloud as of now, very soon they will go to cloud. Okay, so already many companies have already moved into cloud. Big companies, okay, multinational companies, they are running their applications, they are running their servers on cloud. And if a company is still using the physical data center at their locations, a server we can use for like 2 years or 3 years. Hardly 3 years a server will be used in a company. After 3 years, the company should upgrade the server. They have to bring the new server. So again, they need to spend a lot of money. So now the company can say like, okay, listen, instead of spending huge money on our local infrastructure, let us go to the Amazon, or let us go to Microsoft, let us go to Google, and let us use their infrastructure and run our services. Now, one thing that the company should think here is of security. Locally, is it more secure, or over the cloud, it is more secure? See, in a way, over the cloud, the security is much better compared to local security. Why cloud computing is becoming more famous? If there is a security, then only it will become famous, right? Imagine if there is no proper security available. Can you imagine companies will keep their data center, or companies will keep their database server over the cloud? No. So of course, security is there. So the company can think, okay, let us go to cloud. Let us run our applications on cloud. Instead of, upgrading your local data center, let us go to the cloud and let us migrate our servers over the cloud. So most of the companies are running on cloud now. And if the companies that are not running on cloud, if they are running within their local data center, very soon they will be upgraded to cloud. It is not easy for a company to upgrade their local data center. Servers, routers, firewall, it will cost a lot of money. Company have to spend lots and lots of money on these devices. So instead of, every 2 years spending that much money, they will say, okay, why to take this headache? Let us go to cloud. They are maintaining their hardware. We are simply running our application, and how much we are running, that much we are paying. This is what cloud is all about. Okay, friends. So I'm expecting some questions here. Hopefully, whenever there is a session, the chat box is always open. So you can simply send your questions and queries here. Okay, so I'm very sorry for the initial part of the class. Actually, I forgot to share the screen, but hopefully it will not be happening again. But anyhow, so if you have any other questions, any doubts, kindly send your questions in the chat box. Okay. Now, meanwhile, let us see. Who can learn cloud computing? This is a very, very, interesting question here. What are the pre-requirements to run cloud computing, or who can learn cloud computing? Now, any person can learn cloud computing. If you know how to use internet, and if you know how to use a computer, you are eligible to learn cloud computing. Now, what is the basic qualifications you need to get a job in cloud computing. Any graduation from any stream is more than sufficient for you to get a job in cloud computing. There is no proper, requirement here. There are certain cases where you have some, for example, if can I apply for a job of a doctor in a hospital? I don't have any MBBS degree or any doctorate degree, right? So I simply cannot apply. So there are some requirements for a particular job. There are certain criteria for that particular job. But for cloud computing, any person can learn cloud computing. It is open for all. Okay. Now, having said that, instead of learning cloud computing on day one directly, if you know these concepts, like you should know the operating systems, that is Windows Server operating system and Linux Server operating system. If you know this, then it is well and good. If not, then I will show you how this Windows Server operating system and Linux operating systems will work. Then there is a concept called networking. You should know what is a network, types of networks, what is a public network, what is a private network. And there is a very big thing called IP addressing. There is a concept called firewall. There is a concept called router. These are the things you should know. If someone has already done CCNA, then it is well and good. If not, I will take you through all these concepts. Whatever is needed for cloud computing, I will take you through all these concepts. So if you know these concepts very well, it will be very easy for you to understand cloud computing. Remember one thing, friends, cloud computing is actually an easy concept. Learning wise, it is an easy concept. But when it will become easy, if you know the operating system, and if you know the networking part, and if you know the third one, that is virtualization part. If you know these three concepts, I'm not saying in depth, I'm not saying full administration. I'm saying if you know the concept of these three topics, then it will be easy for you to learn cloud computing. Okay. And I'm having experience on Windows servers and Linux server. I'm having huge experience on network side, actually, starting from CCNA, CCNP, CCA, as well as I have experience on virtualization. I'm into virtualization for the last 6 years, actually. So I have experience on all the three platforms. So it will be easy for me to put the content that is needed for us to learn cloud computing. Okay. So I repeat again, any person can learn cloud computing. Any person can make a server over a cloud. It is not a rocket science. I will show you a small demo here. Let us see how the cloud is working. So first of all, I will access my account here. So I'll be accessing my AWS account. So this is my account that I have created. I will show you how to create an account. I will show you how to use and all those things. So right now, once I enter into my account, you know what happens here? Right now, I am connected to the Amazon data center. Remember Amazon data center again? This is your Amazon data center. So I am connected to one of the data center, which is located at some place. Where are the data centers located? To which data center we need to connect? This we will see after like a couple of classes, but I am connected to this data center. Remember I told you cloud computing is on-demand delivery of IT resources. See how many IT resources they have. All these are servers. So we are connecting to this data center. We are using their servers and we can run our servers there. We can run our application. So let me just show you how to run the application now. There is something called EC2. EC2 means your virtual server. I'll just click on EC2 here. I'll say launch instance. So no need to worry, friends. What I'm doing here, it will take, at least 10 classes for me to explain about EC2. So I'll just say like test server. I can say browse. I can select Ubuntu, Microsoft, Red Hat. I can select any operating system. I'll go with like AWS operating system, AWS Linux. Anything else? Okay, I'll go with Red Hat actually. Red Hat is more famous, right? So I'll say select here. And once you select, we have some options here. There is something called key pair and all those things. No need to worry again. We'll go through these options in coming classes. VPC is something else. It will take around 3 to 4 classes for us to complete VPC, or maybe like 5 classes to complete VPC. Security group, these are the things we need to again see in more details. Okay, advanced details, we have to see again some number, and it is asking you how many servers you want to create. If I say this many servers, 50 lakh servers. And if I say launch instance, within like 1 hour, all the 50 lakh servers will be created on Amazon data center. But it will be like a joke actually if I do that, but still if needed, no company will need that many servers, right? But let us say 500 servers. If I say 500 and if I say launch instance, within like next 10-15 minutes, all the 500 servers will be created. Job done. But I'll just go with one. Why to go with this many servers? I'll just go with one. I'll say launch instance. Now see here, finish. Can you see success? Successfully initiated launch of instance. We all instance. This is your server. It is already created and it is already, okay, it is in pending actually. So within like next 10-15 seconds maximum, it will show running. Right now the instance is pending. That means it is still in creation. If I refresh, that's it guys. How much time it took, friends? It took maximum 15 seconds for me to make my server up. And there is a IP address here. By using this IP address, I can connect to my server and I can run all my applications there. Wow, very simple, right? This is cloud computing. This is your cloud computing. Instead of managing, maintaining all the servers at our local data center, we can simply use the data centers available at the cloud provider. That can be Amazon cloud provider, Microsoft cloud provider, Google cloud provider, HP cloud provider, or any XYZ cloud provider. And we can create our servers there, and inside servers, we can run our applications. How to create a website and how to run a website, that we will see. Okay, how to create a website. I will create a website, then I'll ask you to share, I'll ask you to access the website from your machine. Those are the things we will see in coming classes. But as of now, I just created a server. Okay. Now my server creation is done. I don't need this server now. It is over. My work is over. So I can just go to terminate instance. Terminate instance means I'm deleting this instance completely. I don't need this server anymore in my setup. So I can simply delete this. Now it is shutting down. After shutting down, it will select terminate. So within 30 seconds or within like 20 seconds, we are able to like launch our server. And within like 20 to 30 seconds, see, it is terminated. So this server is not available anywhere now. It is completely deleted from the cloud platform. Okay. Okay, there is a question here from Srinivas, like, I did not attend the demo class. Can you please explain course content, duration, etc. Srinivas, actually, this is the first demo session. This is the first demo session, and we have not discussed anything about course content and course content actually. Duration, we know. Duration is for 45 days actually. Course content, we will see in more details tomorrow. It will take me one session actually to take you through this course content. Okay, so as of now, I am, yeah, Shushma, this is the syllabus, but it will take me one class actually to go through the syllabus. So this is just a very introduction session to the cloud. So we will see everything about course and syllabus and everything tomorrow. So tomorrow also class is free for you anyhow, so you can come and attend the class. I'll explain about this course content tomorrow. Okay, friends. Okay, what is the system configuration required? There is a question here. Now see, I have written something in the bottom of this PPT. For labs, we must have internet connection and an active AWS account. So internet connection is there with you for sure. There is a reason you are able to attend the class. AWS account should be there. So this is my AWS account. I have created my account with my name. So you can create your account with your name. So I will show you how to create the AWS account. This is your AWS account creation. So right now, this is not the time to see how to create the AWS account, but we will see in coming classes. Okay, that is what we need to have. Now, I'll ask you a question. Tell me how much configuration you need in a computer to access internet, or what configuration, what system configuration you need to access internet. So whatever system configuration you need to access internet, that system configuration is more than enough for you to do all the practicals. You just need a working computer with an internet connection. That working computer can have 4 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM, it doesn't matter. You just need a good internet connection with a working machine. So you're more than eligible to do all the practicals. Okay. So how to create the AWS account, that we will see in coming classes. That is not the class for today. Today we just try to compare our servers. Let us do this again so that you can understand things in a better way. These servers can be physical servers. These servers can be virtual servers. The servers can be there in cloud. Actually, virtual server and cloud server, both are virtual servers only. But the difference is virtualization is running within our data center, but cloud computing is also a virtualization, but it is running at some other data center. That is the difference. Okay, so it is all about running our services, running our database, using our storage, which is there at some other data center. This is your cloud computing. Using the resources from the cloud provider is cloud computing actually. So how much resources we have to use, how much is needed, how much money we have to pay, how to create a server, how to manage the resources. These are the things we have to do here. Okay, there is a very technical question here, right? And real-time projects, we will not be using UI for setting up services, servers, right? Okay. Do we have to do it as a IaaS, infrastructure as a service? Exactly. But again, what is infrastructure as a service, my friend? That we will see here. This is infrastructure as a service. Actually, majority of things that we are learning on a cloud is on IaaS only, infrastructure as a service. But again, you're not eligible or you're not prepared to understand this concept as of now. Maybe like within 2 days, I will go to that topic, infrastructure as a service. But yes, infrastructure as a service is what we have to learn majorly in AWS. I repeat, infrastructure is the major deployment model we'll be using. Yeah. So let us use our remaining 5-10 minutes to interact a bit more. If whatever questions you have, whatever doubts you have, feel free to send your questions. Chat box will be always open till the last day of our course. The chat box will be open. So feel free to send your questions actually. Okay, it will help not only you, it will help all the other people.
Sir, I have few doubts, sir. Myself, Vishal.
Yeah, Vishal, please go ahead.
If it is infrastructure as service, means you'll be teaching cloud formation or Terraform, such kind of tools or service of AWS, sir.
Cloud formation we will see, and hopefully Terraform also we will see. It's not needed in AWS actually, but we will go with this Terraform also hopefully.
So you'll be teaching all other AWS services, sir.
All other AWS services means actually there are majorly 5 services that we need to learn: VPC, S3, RDS, IAM, and EC2. These are the 5 major services. So when I say EC2, under EC2 there are many things. EC2 will take actually 10 classes. VPC will take around like 10 classes or 9 classes. IAM maybe take like 2 classes, 3 classes, something like this. So these are the 5 major topics that you need to learn. Under each topic, there are many more topics.
You create these services by CloudFormation or Terraform, or directly you will create in UI and you will teach us?
First, we will go through this UI. First,
Okay.
we have to go with this UI, right? Graphical user interface. We have to use that. We have to. I just showed you like how to create a EC2 instance. The machine that we have created just now, it was like say the test server. That is actually EC2 instance. So first, we have to go in a normal way. Then we can go with some other ways like, scripts maybe, or by using some CLI, all those things we have to see. But whenever you're learning cloud or any technology, first you should know the default options that are available, the graphical presentation or whatever presentation is there. First you should know that, then we can go with the other things.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, after this course, can we become AWS admin? That is one of the question here actually. So this AWS course is designed for a purpose of designed for the people who are planning to go with the administration part only, right? This is the motto of this particular course. So I can say one thing, once you finish the course, you are more than eligible to work as an AWS admin in any environment, whether it is a small company, medium company, or the biggest company where you are working. These are the 5 services you should know. These are the 5 major components you should know: VPC, S3, RDS, IAM, EC2. Okay, I'm just saying like these are the 5 major things, but remember I told you internally again there are many more concepts we need to learn. Internally there are many more topics we need to learn. Okay, so coming to the class timings here. (9:30) is the time actually, 9:30 a.m. up to like 10:30 to 10:40. Whenever there are some questions, sometimes a question can be like yes or no. The answer can be yes or no. And in some cases, I need to go a bit deep to explain that particular question. So it may take some time. So I'm just adding 10 extra minutes there. So maximum every day we will finish our class before like on or before 10:40 a.m. This is the schedule. This is the time actually. So total it will take 45 days approximately. And we'll be starting from the very basics up to the advanced level. So if any person who is having any knowledge of networks or server administration or network administration, that is added advantage. But in case if you're not having any knowledge of server administrations like Windows or Linux, no need to worry. I have specially designed this course in such a way that with zero knowledge of networking, zero knowledge of administration, you can still learn everything in cloud. You just need to have the internet connection and you just need to have the AWS account. Computer can be any configuration computer. It doesn't matter. It can be laptop or desktop or anything. Or maybe you can use your friend's machine, because normally when you go with your friend's computer, you access your Facebook account or your Gmail account. You just access your Gmail account, you check the emails which are there in your account and you log off, right? AWS account is something like that actually. So in case if you're not having any computer, you can just borrow your friend's computer every half an hour to 1 hour. That is more than enough to do practicals. And that's it. You can log off from your account. Okay, can you make it at 9 a.m.? Actually, I have one more class between 8 a.m. to like 9 a.m. That is again 9:05 to 9:10. Maximum in coming classes after like a couple of days, I can start this session at least from 9:15. That much I can do. 9 a.m. will be like a bit, difficult for me. Classes will be there from Monday to Friday. And on Saturdays, let us see. It depends. Some Saturdays you will keep for practical. Some Saturdays, we'll just see how we can go with this Saturdays. But 5 days a week will be there minimum. 6th day is a option available. In case in between Monday to Friday, for some reason, if there is a holiday, if there is a festival, something, then hopefully Saturday we can take class. Sundays will be holiday for sure, but classes will be there from Monday to Friday, and Saturday is a option available. Okay, majorly weekdays and hopefully some Saturdays. And tomorrow is the class where I'll take you through the syllabus. There we can see like what we can do or what we are learning there. We'll just try to see the major components there, major topics, so that we can understand what exactly we are going to learn in cloud computing. And one more thing, friends, please keep the chat box as busy as possible. That will help me in taking a topic in a good direction, actually. If I'm not getting any questions, I'll feel like whether you're able to understand or not. Maybe your question can be very funny. It doesn't matter. You can simply send me a question. You can send the question directly to me. There are two options available here. One is to everyone. Another one is you can send a question directly to the person. So you can see my name there, Shakeel. You can just send me a message to that name. So I can just read the question. Then I can address a particular question. Okay, friends. So that was the session for today. I hope you understood a bit more about cloud computing. But it will take some more classes for us to understand more about cloud computing. It's a very big ocean, my dear friend. There are many, many things in cloud computing. I can say one thing with 100% guarantee. If you are selecting this cloud computing career, cloud computing, DevOps, whatever options are available here, you can say yourself in this particular career for next 12, 15, 20 years. There is no need for you to go to any other career. There is no need for you to switch your careers. That much demand and that much scope is there in this particular field. Okay, so it is a great opportunity because cloud computing is still in very early stages. Actually, companies still they are trying to adapt the cloud computing environment. So there are many jobs available, and many jobs will be available for many years. Maybe after like 7 years and 8 years and 10 years, it will become a normal thing because many people will learn it. But as of now, this is one of the best career option you have all over the globe. And the best thing is any person can learn. They just need to have some graduation, any degree. That is more than enough for them to get a job in cloud computing and make a career in cloud computing. So this is a place from where you should start learning, and you can go up to like any level, whatever levels are there in cloud computing. So tomorrow when we come, I will show you the examination. Cloud computing or any course has an exam, right? So we will see how to go for exam, and we will just go through some syllabus tomorrow. So that's it, friends. That's it from me for today. I'll be here for like a couple of more minutes. If there is any doubt, we will see, or else we can stop the session for today. Okay, fine. So I guess there are no other questions here. So this is the time to stop the class, and hope to see you again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. with another demo and with more of cloud computing and all those things. Okay, friends, thanks again for joining. Take care and see you tomorrow at same time. Okay, there is one question coming actually. If you miss a class, then how can we see those videos? See, friends, every class is recorded actually. Each and every class is recorded. Starting 3 to 4 classes, you can get on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and say DURGASOFT YouTube channel. So you'll get the DURGASOFT software solution something. Starting 3-4 classes will be available on YouTube. But once we enter into the main classes after demos, once we enter, see, every class is a main class. See, whatever we have discussed today, I hope you gain some knowledge. I hope the understanding has increased in you about the cloud computing and all those things, right? So each and every class is important, but starting 3-4 classes, I will go in a simple way, in a basic way. So it will be available on YouTube. But after 3 to 4 classes, once you register yourself, the institute people will share all recorded classes with you. From day number 1 to the last day, every class is recorded. So after 3-4 days, each and every class will be shared with you directly through a Google Drive. So in case if you miss a class, then you can come to next class. Before coming to next class, you can just go through the previous class and you can come. But see, a very friendly suggestion here, friends. Very simple and friendly suggestion. If you want to get success in this particular field, any field that is related to IT, not only cloud, I'm saying like if you're learning Java also, or if you're learning some database or Oracle database, or if you're learning cloud or anything, just try not to miss any class, because Computer courses are designed in such a way that first class is connected to second class, 13th class is connected to 14th class, 24th class is connected to 25th class. They are connected in this way. But for some reason, if you miss any class because of any emergency or whatever, you will get the recorded class. So you can watch the recorded class and you can come for the next class. That option is available for you. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for asking that question. Actually, it was a very important point I have forgot to discuss, but anyhow, that's it, friends. That's it for today. See you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Take care, guys. Bye. Yeah, Shushma, you'll get all the recordings. This is second time I was supposed to say end the meeting. I got one more question here, but yeah, you'll get all the recordings. But once you pay, there is a process, right? Once you register yourself, you'll get each and every recording there actually. But initially the recordings will be there on YouTube, but till the end of our course, each and every class is recorded and you will get all the recordings. And everything is under this fees only. There is no separate charges for recordings actually. Normally, most of the institutes, they will do the same thing, but the fees is 5,000 Indian rupees and recording is included in this. Now, I hope I can now end this session. Yeah, thank you. Thanks again for joining. So, 3, 2, 1.